Hey, what's up, guys? It is Spencer,
Chris,
Camden,
and we are back with episode 3.
Late Night,
with
Late. Deep.
Sheep, Rules. Alright, Camden, bitch, you got a story.
I do have a
Okay.
story. So I just got back from the bathroom, and I had my phone out with me, right?
You didn't drop it in the toilet, did you?
No, it was
Not saying
hovering
I
right
did.
over the toilet, though, but, you know, I like to live like Larry.
The
He's
lobster?
like my idol. And anyway, so I was like on
lobster?
my phone, so I could, yeah, the lobster. So I couldn't see what I was doing.
The lobster?
Yeah, I was doing a lobster. And then this is one of my most proud moments of all time. Usually when I'm like just looking at my phone, not looking at what I'm doing, I look down and there's just like piss all over the seat, all over the floor, all over the tub and everything. Like all over the John. It just got in the toilet and went straight
Man,
down
John
to the John.
hates that when it happens to him.
Yeah, he told me to stop last time, but you know, I didn't.
If only it
But
wasn't
then,
so short.
this time I got done with my phone. I stopped my business and I looked down, and it was like white as Snow White.
Oh, she's my least favorite Disney princess, honestly.
Yeah, I kinda hate it.
She's not hot at all.
She's too pale, but I guess she fits her name.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. But it's like the hair's all rolled up into a bun. I don't
We've-
like
Princess
that at all.
Leia.
We've taken a commanding start to this late night with Deep Sheep talking
I mean,
about
only a
white
bunch of midgets
shit.
would really like her.
I mean, yeah, only midgets like her.
Yeah. So, okay, how come of all the dwarves, only angry is, like, the one who's, like, a bad emotion, technically?
It's-
Like, okay,
it's
you
grumpy.
see Inside Out, alright? You got joy, who's,
grumpy.
like, positive. You got envy, who's kind of negative. You got anger, who's meant to be negative. You got sad, who's negative, but then, like, you sort of learn that she can be good. And then you got fear, who's kind of a mixture of bad and good. But in Snow White, you got angry who's bad. Doc doesn't even have an emotion. For some reason, he's Doc. He never heals anyone, so I don't know why the hell they call him Doctor. You got Dopey, which I don't even know what that means exactly. I gotta
dumb.
look that up in a dictionary, but I don't read, so I'm not gonna find that out. You got Happy, who's basic. You got Sneezy, which isn't even an emotion. That doesn't make sense.
Dopey's
Sleepy.
catchphrase should be, "Hey, Dopey, let's Smokey the Dopey."
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure dopey is the emotion when you're really high.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. And damn, who's the other one?
Walt
Bashful.
Disney was like,
Who the hell's Bashful?
Walt Disney was just like, man,
Yeah, I mean everyone
that's
else.
dopey. Oh man, dopey. That's it, man. Just build a movie off of him.
I
And
wonder
that's
if
how
he
Snow
liked
White came to
Jews
be.
when he was high.
All right, new topic.
All right, moving
I mean,
on.
you knew Walt Disney was racist, right?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, most white people were.
But
back
yeah,
then,
moving
too.
on. Camden, you've told us very little about your childhood and your kindergarten shenanigans. So
I'm
please,
pretty sure I've told you a lot.
now, can you
I told
please
Spencer
tell
so
the audience about your jolly good times in kindergarten?
No, tell me the story of your island.
Oh yeah. Well, that was first grade.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So Miss Stetz, shout out to you. You're still one of my favorite teachers. It was first grade, and I'm pretty sure I forget how it happened, but I got an island, and it was just like, cool, I get my own island. I'm like Hawaii, but no, I'm not like Hawaii. Hawaii just means like, we're gonna call it Hawaii. Hawaii just means like I've been bad, so I've been sent off on my own. That's why it's called an island. I'm not near anyone. I'm just on my own. But then so what like my parents came in for parent teacher conference, and then Miss Stetz was like had all this stuff to say about me and how I was the worst student in the world, which I probably was. I forget, it was like 9 years ago, but you know. And then I was there too. And then so I came walking around with them, and I was like, guys, come over here. You got to look at my island. I was so proud of that gosh darn island.
Cause like, okay, so he was telling me about his island, and I was two grades ahead of him, so I was like, okay, I don't know what that means. So like, he showed me to his class, and I walked in. Okay, so you know how all the desks, like, say they're all in lines and rows and stuff, and they're all pointed towards the front of the, you know.
No, I think these were like little cubes. Like there's like clusters.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, I know
well,
what he's talking about.
I walked in, and this is how the desks were arranged. Camden was at the front, in the center, so like right there, right at the board. Everyone else surrounded Camden, but they were pushed a good like 4 feet away from him. So he's just a lone box on a peninsula, just staring at the board, no one near him, because apparently he would distract people so badly. And I walked out, I was like, what the hell happened here? And Camden just goes to his desk and is like, this is my island. Good for you, Camden. Good for you.
Hey, I was proud. I was the center of attention.
I would imagine that you were a proud and jolly kid.
But that's not even the good stories.
Some would say he was happy and dopey.
The good
Those are dwarves, by the way.
He does drugs. But the good stories were in kindergarten. Those were my thug life year, not years. But
felt like years to you.
Yeah, it felt like years because I never got out of the joint.
I mean, it was like 1/5 of your life. I mean, come on.
And the joint is in like
It's what Walt Disney does.
The joint is like the principal's office.
That started in 9th grade.
And then okay, what story should I start off with first? Should I start off how I broke school property?
Well, don't give it away.
Or how
don't give it away. Just go for it.
Just go for it. Pick your second favorite.
Dive
and then
right
tell
in.
your favorite.
Man, I had a cool line and you fucked on it.
Just dive right in.
All right.
Like a pool.
I'm gonna save the best for last. All right, so in music class.
Like a lobster.
Chris, shut up.
In music class, I don't know why, but me and like a couple other kids, it was just like this game, and we were like, hey, let's just like pull our pants down and just run around the class. And we were all like, dude, I'm in. Hit the whip. Just whip it out.
Oh my god.
I'm showing you my package today.
Yeah. Do you work for UPS? Because you were totally checking out my...
God delivered. I'd sign for it. World keeps on spinning.
And then anyway, there was like probably 4 or 5 of us, and we were all just like sitting in a circle, so the teacher was probably like, what the hell are these kids doing? They're like starting...
5-year-olds in a circle. This is not
starting
good.
a Ku Klux Klan.
Hopefully not circle jerking.
Yeah. I didn't want to say.
I mean, you guys are already halfway there.
And then there's like 4 or 5 of us, and we were like doing a countdown. But you know how you count down from like 3? For some reason, we started at 17. I don't know why I remember that. We started at 17. And we went down.
Thing I've heard.
And we're like shouting this, and then the teacher was like, "Get quiet." This was around like 13, and then we were like, 12, 11.
See, if I was a teacher in your class, I wouldn't be weirded out that these kids are sitting in a circle pulling their pants down. I would walk over and say, why the hell are you starting at 17, you stupid asses?
Well, today is July 17th.
You're in kindergarten. Did you learn a little bit of math while you were there?
But anyway, so we got down to the countdown, and we were like 3, 2, 1, and I pulled it down, and I ran in circles around the class, and I'm like, hey, look at this small thing.
Wait, your dick was hanging out?
Yeah.
What? You didn't put up. You pulled your underwear down too. Like in one fast motion, you pulled both down.
Yeah, I know. Kindergarten was a thug year. I'm telling you. And then so I'm running around the room, and
flopping around.
The teacher's chasing after me. Everyone is like running to the side, and then he finally catches me, and I look around, and I'm the only one who did it.
Aww.
Aww, it's
Everyone
so
else
sad.
The 4 or 5 other kids were just looking at me and laughing and pointing, and look how small that thing is. It's like the David.
I bet all the girls were just freaking traumatized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like skip 5 years later, and they're in 5th grade, which is 5 years later, and they're like being taught health, and they're like being taught health, and they're like, all right, girls, this is what a penis looks like, and they're like, yeah, we know what that looks like.
No, they're gonna be like, man, that looks a lot like Camden's.
Yeah. Is that
Camden? Did he model for this
teacher,
movie?
is it okay if I saw a penis in kindergarten?
Do
you have a brother? Like, no.
That's just like a big awkward silence.
Dude, kindergarten. Wait, Camden, how do you feel knowing that most likely you were the first penis a lot of girls saw?
Whoa.
You know, the ultimate plot twist to this would be if in that classroom that day is one of the girls that Camden ends up marrying.
Nah.
like
I don't know any of them.
like when she gives her her vow, and it's like she's written her own vow,
I s-
and she'll be
I
like,
saw your
Camden,
penis in kindergarten.
the moment I met you, I saw your penis.
It was very
I knew
little.
I just had to have it.
I,
I waited all these years for you, Camden.
Okay.
dude, I'd be creeped out. That line,
More
that
creeped
line
out
right
than
there,
she is of you because you ran around with your dick flopping around in
that
kindergarten.
line right there can end a relationship. I've been waiting years for you. Oh, because I just kind of met you like yesterday.
You'd marry a girl that you've only known for a day?
Well, no, not marrying. I'm just saying like if she randomly said like I've been waiting for a guy like you for years.
Dude, Camden, marry that girl. Marry her anyway. Marry
Marry
that
that
girl.
girl. Okay, anyway, I have more. Don't worry.
Oh wait, there's more.
Please continue.
There's one. I'll tell the really dumb one. There was one where me and
Because
my
the other one
friend.
wasn't.
I forget his name. Oh well. Sorry, you won't be famous. But he
call him
was
Dick.
black and bald, which I guess most of them are. I'll stop with that. But like it was a game to us. This all had every kindergarten story I've noticed has to do with a game. That's how gosh darn competitive I was. And then so we were just like playing a game, and we were like, he said, "Hey, whoever quits first is a loser." And I was like, I didn't want to be a goddamn loser. I was like, whatever this game is, I'm in. And then so he was like, okay, we're just gonna like just bash our heads against each other until the other person says I can't do it anymore. And I was like, I'm so in. And so it was like in the hallway. So you know how they make us walk in a line.
Yeah.
So
Like
so
concentration
we were in
camps.
line. We were like near the back, but they're like still able to hold some kids up. So we just like stopped because this game was serious. Like in the beginning, we were just kind of like he'd turn around real quick, we'd bash our head, and then he'd turn around and then keep walking, and then like it got serious. Like we were mad at each other.
The worst part about this is I'm gonna be living with this idiot in like 3 years.
And we wonder what's so wrong with him.
We were just like like at one point he just like stopped. He just stopped the line, held up the line. He was just like boom, 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 and we just kept hitting each other. And then, like we held up some kids in the back, and the funniest thing was they were like cheering us on, like yeah, go, knock his brains out.
It's like an arena, like Gladiator, for bashing heads against each other.
Yeah.
Are you not
Are you not
entertained?
Wait, are you not entertained?
And,
Can't feel my fingers.
and so I lost, but I guess we both lost because we both got sent to the principal's office for holding up a goddamn line. I'll tell a story that actually doesn't have to do with me. It has to do with my grandpa.
Oh. You
So
have one?
Alright, lucky us.
It's still kindergarten because it's thug year for everyone in
Yeah.
kindergarten. And then so we did. My grandpa never picks me up, but like my mom and dad were like, we're working and we need someone and you're our last hope. And he's like,
Help me, Obi-Wan.
okay. And then so he went to get me. I tried thinking of something funny and I couldn't. So he came to get me, and then so my parents had told me before, like, okay, Pop Pop's gonna come get. That's what I called him. Don't make fun of me. Pop Pop's
You're
gonna
an
come
idiot.
get you. And then I already had a grandpa. I called one of them grandpa. I called the other Pop Pop.
I had a grandpa that called him uncle for some reason.
You're dumb.
I was like 10 and my parents were like, he's not your uncle. I was like, I know.
You are not the father.
I
This
had
time.
I had a cousin who was like really old, so I called him Uncle Paul. And then so everyone always yelled at me because I called him uncle, and I'm like, stop yelling at me.
Dude, I have an Uncle Paul.
Nice. They should like get together and like bang.
Their heads against each other. I'll cheer them on.
Are you not entertained? And
You
so
can be
anyway,
their coach, train them.
The lobster.
Alright, I got some experience here.
After school I was just like sitting there. He was like, he'll be a little late since he lives far away, so just wait in the principal's office. So I went and sat in the principal's office.
Bet that guy loved you. You're always in there.
Yeah. Oh well. And then so I was just sitting in there, and I was waiting, and waiting, and waiting. And then meanwhile, I didn't know this, but meanwhile, my grandpa, he got the wrong kid.
What? He couldn't even recognize his own grandchild?
It was winter. We had big coats. He had the hood on, and he was just like, "Let's go, Camden." And the little dumb kid was like, "Alrighty." Got him all the way back to his house, and it was like 30 minutes away. And
He
then
didn't
he was just
try to talk to him on the way there, like, "So Camden, how was school?"
He did, and then he
And the
he,
kid
like,
did
never
say,
answered.
"Who's Camden?"
Well, he never said my name. That was the thing. He never said my name, and then the little kid
Wow.
never answered. And then so he got in the house, and then he was like, "All right, you want a cookie, Camden?" And he like took the jacket off, and he was like, "Oh shit, you're not Camden."
It's like, you want a cookie? Who the hell are you? Smack. No cookie for you, you little
If
shit.
he ran away, that would have been really bad. And so my parents like left work early, and they came back to school, and they got there at like the same time, and then like the other parents were there, and then they were like yelling at my parents, like, "How could you be so irresponsible?" and stuff like that. And so my parents were just like, "I don't know, our grandpa, he's dumb. He's old. Don't make fun of him." Yeah, that was quite a sight, and I'm just sitting there like watching it all happen, and I'm just like sitting there with my popcorn. I have a soda and like a beach chair.
Yep. You're sitting there thinking, this is the one and only time I'm not the problem.
Yeah. All right, my last kindergarten story. This is my favorite.
We're almost halfway through it.
Yeah.
We're still talking about goddamn kindergarten.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's thug life.
Sorry. Yeah, it's Thug Life. This is the Thug Life podcast. Dun, 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 dun.
Late night with Thug Life Deep Sheep.
Put that in there.
Thug Life with Deep Sheep.
Like lobster.
Well, yeah, like the lobster. And then so we were at recess, and then we were just throwing this rock, and we were just seeing like, I don't know how many people were there, but there were guys and girls.
Were there scissors and paper as well?
For some reason, I remember that detail, that there were guys and girls, because
That's so crazy.
My mom always said, like, "What were you boys doing?" And I would always be like, "There were girls too, bitch."
Don't want to single them out, Mom.
You don't act like you women are just so good.
Yeah, stop being sexist.
And then, yeah, because I knew what that meant in kindergarten.
Mhm.
And then so we were just throwing the rock, and it was like back and forth. And then like there was this trash can right next to the school, and then so I was like, I'm gonna throw it in this goddamn trash can, and you all are gonna cheer the goddamn Christ out of me. And then they were like, "You won't throw it in the trash can. You can't throw it that far." And I was like, "You don't think I can throw it that far?" And they were like, "No, I don't think you can throw it that
I'm
far."
Camden frickin' Praisner.
Yeah, I'm Camden frickin' Praisner. I'll throw whatever I want, however the amount of distance. And then so anyway, I threw the rock, and it went way over the trash can, and it went through the 5th grade window. I just broke the window right then and there.
And those are hardcore windows too. I remember it was like a prison.
Yeah.
It was like the
Those are
Shawshank prison.
Yeah, those are not meant to break.
You know what I did next? The teacher, for some reason, we were throwing rocks when the teacher was right next to us. The teacher was like, turned around, stared at the window for a solid 5 seconds, turned back at me, and I'd never seen any eyes bigger. And you know what I did after that?
Pull down your pants.
Threw a rocket there.
Threw a rock at the teacher.
I ran away.
Grabbed no shoes and nothing, Jesus. Where'd you run to?
Like the playground, because what I did was I got on the
That's
playground.
uncharted territory.
Yeah.
I got on the playground, and so there was like 3 teachers after me. I felt like a fugitive from America. Just call me Roman Polanski.
Dude, he raped a girl.
Okay, but
like
there's
that,
nothing
though.
funny
Give him
about
credit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Shut up.
So I felt like a fugitive because there was like 3 teachers just like on my tail, and I like jumped up the slide and I climbed up it, and like I felt so good because the teachers couldn't do that because they were too fat. And I was like making faces at them as if I
You're a
wasn't
despicable little thing.
as if I wasn't in enough trouble. I was just like making faces at my teachers like, "Nah, boo boo, you can't catch me." And all of a sudden, this goddamn traitor, one of the kids that I was throwing the rocks with, he climbed up this thing behind me, and he grabbed me, and he threw me down.
Oh my god, that
He was like,
rat.
threw me down, and I landed on the mulch. I was like, "Ow, my arm. What's wrong with you?" The thing that pissed me off.
Betrayal.
The thing that pissed me off the most, that kid never got in trouble for almost breaking my arm.
Wow, what a douche.
But I got in trouble for breaking a wall and making faces at teachers. But what?
But no,
Not
pulling
fair.
down your pants and showing your tiny ass freaking floppy kindergarten cock isn't
Dude,
bad at all.
I remember
Hey, you
this
don't know
one
what I
time.
got.
What? Hello?
What'd you get?
Okay, alright, this is what I got one time. I was in 2nd grade, alright, and there was this kid, alright, his name was Jacob. I hate the name Jacob because of this little prick, okay? He was like this little bitch who would whine and complain about everything and, like, throw a temper tantrum so he could get his way, and I hated that because I was, like, in 2nd grade, and I'm like, bitch, we're past that, okay? You didn't finish that when you were 3, come on. So, we were on this, like, field trip thingy where, like, you remember that, like, they would park this truck so that you would practice a fire exit or whatever, and you would have to, like, crawl your way out of the truck. Did you ever do that? Was it like
No.
maybe it was like a bus or something? I don't know. Anyway, it
I
was like
don't
a
know.
fire drill type thing.
Maybe
They're
you were
testing
like a
out. They're
bus
like,
or
this is what you
something.
do if you ever end up in this situation. I'm 17 years old, still have yet to end up in that situation. Thanks, school. But anyway, so you're practicing that, all right? Okay. So then we lined up in the line, you know, like concentration camp style, and this kid, Jacob, he thought I butted in front of him. So he was like, hey, you cut it. And he pushed me. And that really pissed me off. Because I was like, I hate you enough. So I tackled him and knocked him to the ground. And he started, like, wailing and crying so badly. And I was like, get over it, you little bitch. And my teacher walked over. She's like, I saw you do that. And I was like, he pushed me first. And she was like, you go to the back of the line. I was like, what the hell? So I ended up in the back of the line while dumb little Jacob crying and stuff. He stuck his tongue out at me. I remember it to this day. He stuck his tongue out at me and then got to stand in that line.
That was the worst tongue I've ever seen.
I know. I never forgot that to that day. Apparently, a girl had, like, been stung by bees, so my teacher was in a really bad mood, so she did not feel like trying to be fair. She was just like, I don't care. You go to the back of the line. I do not want to deal with this kid wailing and crying more.
Now I could really put this kid into trouble and give him a really harsh punishment for, you know, pushing this kid. But a girl got stung by a bee. Now that I think
am
that's
pissed
where
off.
no, that's where I'm gonna draw the line.
I mean, that girl's wailing and crying because she got stung by a bee, and this kid's crying because he fell on the ground, and I'm just standing over him like, yes,
and I didn't even want to be a teacher.
I know, yeah, and she was like, get in the back. I was like, aw,
Dude, I'd hate to be like a 2nd grade teacher.
dude, yeah.
I'd love to be a kindergarten teacher so I could see kids like Camden pull the shit that he pulled.
Nah, no one's as thug as me in kindergarten.
All right.
You're gonna find someone like that and be like, are you Camden Praisner? Did you come back from the future? Like the movie.
Oh,
Okay, you're
Back to the Future, not from, idiot.
Well,
whatever.
Speaking of movies, we got a segment, all right? We're starting a new segment. Don't know what the hell it's called, but
how about this impromptu name? Camden,
Movies.
Chris,
Dick suck.
Spencer, movie hour,
CSE
movie
hour.
roundup.
CSE
Oh, I like it.
CSE movie hour. All right, sure.
No, CSE movie roundup.
Okay, there you go.
All right,
Oh shit,
that's
because
it.
we have the same. That's crazy. Okay,
Who's
all right. So
who's the first C?
me, of course.
Oh, okay.
I love how you just accepted it.
I don't want this podcast to go on too long.
Yeah.
I mean, I may have won this competition, but if we ever have to do a competition requiring to pull our pants down, you win that fair and square. Okay, so this is
Whatever.
how the segment works. We all have a movie, and we are going to tell each other to rate it based on a 1 through 10, 1 being the absolute worst movie we've ever seen, and 10 being the most perfect movie we have ever seen. And we're going to kind of explain, why and stuff. Who would like to go first?
Not me, because I need to think of a movie.
Not it.
I'll go first because
There
I
you go,
have
Spencer.
one.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna do a movie that is often considered one of the most brilliant and one of the most amazing movies of all time.
I know what you're
I'm gonna go Pulp Fiction.
Oh, damn. I was thinking
Alright.
Gone with the Wind, but okay.
Yeah,
By the
I
way,
was-
the reason why we are doing this
I was
segment is
thinking
because we
2006.
three watch movies a lot, and we're like cinephiles or movie buffs, however you want to call it.
We are
cinephiles
huge
kind of sounds
cinephiles.
I
like
say
we're
movie
drug
buff
addicts.
because it makes me sound strong when I'm not.
Yeah. So okay, all right.
Deceiving.
Pulp Fiction. Now, I guess Spencer.
1980,
you go- Spencer?
1994.
Yeah, 1994. Spencer.
One of the best years for movies.
Spencer, you go first. What would you rate it? Or wait, should
8.5.
the person who names it go first, or
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go 8.5.
8.5?
All right.
Okay.
I thought it was a great movie. it definitely made Tarantino.
Who he is.
Like,
Yeah.
it's now.
Set
It was
him
the
up.
movie that really made his career take off.
Mm-hmm.
And without that movie, we wouldn't have gotten many of his other movies. And just like everything about it, it is a rarity to find a movie with such an A-list cast of like John Travolta, Uma Thurman,
Yeah, for
Sam
it launched their
Jackson,
careers.
movie.
Like it
Bruce
relaunched
Willis,
it.
Amanda
second
Plummer was in
movie.
it.
I don't even know what that is.
Me neither.
I think she
Well,
likes
there you
plums.
go. Well, there you go.
And I'm pretty sure, what's her face?
Larry.
I know Steve Buscemi was in a little bit of it, and Christopher Walken made an
Was he?
appearance. Yeah.
For 3 years, I carried this watch around in my ass.
And Rosanna Arquette, that's the girl who was also in it.
Okay, all right.
Should I go next?
Sure,
Can I
go ahead.
next?
I don't care.
It's really hard between an 8.5 and a 9 because
Wow, really?
I really love this movie, and so does my mom, which is weird because I can't picture us watching that together.
Dude, I watched Game of Thrones with my mom. Try and beat that.
Wolf
Oh my
of Wall
God.
Street is
Oh my
the
God,
ultimate
honey,
movie to
what
never
did he
watch.
just say? He said, "Bring out the gimp." Yeah. And then anyway, Pulp Fiction is maybe it's not top 10, but it's top 20 movies of all time for me, favorite. And I think I'm sticking with 8.5.
Okay.
But like I really love this movie because it's ingenious because it shows the bad guy's perspective. And
Yeah.
it shows how like, hey, they're not that bad. You love these bad guys, but then you at the end of the movie you think like, these are bad guys. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
I want to quickly add that the ending to Pulp Fiction is one of my favorite endings ever to any movie ever.
Just walk out in their underwear.
Oh yeah. By the way, obviously for all the movies we're going to talk about, spoiler alert. Even though it's been out for 2 decades, whatever.
21 years, go see it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Personally, I'd give it a 7.5. I liked the movie. See, because I went on a spree to watch all Quentin Tarantino's movies because he's my second favorite director of all time, first being Christopher Nolan. There you go. You were going to ask me what was my first, and I already answered before you could ask it. There you go. But anyway, Quentin Tarantino's movies. So I watched Pulp Fiction, and I had seen scenes from it when I was a kid, like the Say What Again, stuff like that. And I was excited to see those scenes. But for the most part, I kind of found the movie a little slow and kind of a little long for my taste, at least.
I felt like that too. It could have definitely been a 2-hour movie, not a 2-hour 45-minute movie.
Yeah. I like Samuel
Also,
Jackson,
it is one of those movies that it's not told it's a non-linear story.
Yeah,
I think that's how you say
the
it.
ending is technically it happens before in the time, like it happens in the middle of the timeline. It's weird.
It's complicated, but it's non-linear.
Tarantino, just know the only thing you need to know about Tarantino is that you're never gonna watch a movie in order.
Well, Django is for the most part.
Inglourious
I'd say.
Bastards.
Yeah, true.
Just shut you down there, Camden.
Never liked you.
But
upcoming Tarantino movie right now, Hateful Eight. Can't wait.
Can't wait for
love that number.
And it's his 8th film.
Dude, I'll name it the Loveful Eight for me.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought the film was fine. I liked it, but I don't see why. I guess I can understand why it's like amazing back then, but personally, I don't really understand why a lot of people really, really love the movie or would say it's their favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. Because personally, it's not my favorite. It's more in the middle.
That's my favorite.
So, but yeah, that's just my opinion. All right,
It's definitely in my top 3.
Oh, me?
I mean, I don't have a movie. I did when I came up with this segment like weeks ago. And now I can't remember the movie, and I'm
Alright, the one I
could come
really
up with
don't
another
want to
movie, 'cause
talk
there's
about.
thousands of movies, but I'm determined to remember that movie I was going to talk about.
Alright, the movie I didn't want to talk about, just because we're all going to yell at each other, but this is the movie I know is going to be so different between everyone. 2001: A Space Odyssey.
All right.
As soon as I heard 2, I was done.
Yeah, some fists are going to be flying up
All right.
buttholes.
Now, personally, I don't hate this movie.
What would you rate it?
Okay.
So, all right.
As
we
a
had
movie,
1
this
through
is
10,
going.
10 being perfect movie, 9 being you really loved it, 8 you really liked it, 7 you kind of liked it, 6 it was okay, 5 you didn't really like it, 4 you really didn't like it, 3 you hated it, 2 you despised it, 1 you would rather puke than even think about it. And then there's half points in there.
Okay, 2001: A Space Odyssey. As I'm sitting down watching the movie, I'd give it about a 5 or a 6 out of 10. It's not a great
what about
movie.
5.5?
It's not a great movie to sit down and watch.
Spencer, there's a half point. You can
Okay,
say
fine. 5.5. There, you
That
happy?
was gonna annoy the hell out of me.
Okay, so
Yeah, he was just gonna go on, and you were just gonna be like, Spencer.
You said 5 or 6. We're
say
allowed half points.
5.5.
Just say 5.5.
okay. Anyways, I don't hate this movie because when you're watching it, it is boring as hell, and I totally get it. Like, it's definitely a boring movie. It's not super duper duper interesting. But I think about it like this. Without that movie, we may have not have gotten Interstellar, which is my second favorite movie of 2014. And I also appreciate Kubrick didn't have Hans Zimmer back then. He didn't have the kind of visuals. He didn't have the kind of technology that Nolan has today. So he did all of that in the 60s, back when, correct me if I'm wrong here, but back before we even made it to the moon. So the fact that he was able to put all of this together in one of the most innovative movies ever made, I think that's super awesome, and I really respect it, despite how boring the movie was.
See, okay, I'm gonna argue your point without that movie, Christopher Nolan probably wouldn't have made movies. We wouldn't have a lot of amazing movies nowadays. That's almost like saying, you know what, I liked the Holocaust, because without it we wouldn't have phones, because technology really blew up to take down Hitler, and he did a lot of technological advancements. That's almost like saying Hitler wasn't that bad. He helped us invent a lot of new stuff. No, everyone hates him because he was a dick. It just so happens that a byproduct of that was that we got a lot of inventions. So that's one small positive thing. But other than that, World War II sucked. Now, I'm not saying 2001: A Space Odyssey is the Holocaust. I mean, I'm talking about concentration camps. I'm talking about gyms. All right. Anyway,
Just talk about the movie, goddammit.
2001: Space Odyssey equals Holocaust.
for me, I rated a 4. I really didn't like the movie because I see a movie more as what it is. I sit down and I don't try to see, like, okay, obviously I have to think to myself, it's an old movie, so I'm going to have to try and appreciate it for what it has. If something looks fake, oh well, it was 1960, Camden, what was it?
8.
There you go. 1968, so it wasn't that bad, you know?
I'm the year guy.
Yeah, you are.
You want to know a movie year? I got you.
Yep. So, but the movie was boring as dicks. Like, I almost masturbated in the middle of it just to excite myself a bit.
Although I will say, the one scene that actually got my blood pumping was when that guy was... Now, spoiler alert here. When that guy, the astronaut...
It's been out since before any of us were born.
Okay,
so.
okay. But when that guy is
my
floating in
death,
space, just all by himself, the yellow astronaut, I thought that was actually pretty cool.
Okay, so, like, when you hear 2001: A Space Odyssey, you hear Hal, okay? You hear the robot, you hear, I'm sorry, Dave, I'm afraid I can't do that. You know, you hear that. That doesn't even show up till 55 minutes into the movie. Those characters do not show up until then. And the characters previously that appeared before then never appear ever again for the rest of the movie. So the movie has no main character. You can't say Hal's main character. Because he's only in the movie for, I would say, maybe 45 minutes.
No, the guy who takes down Hal is the main character.
He doesn't show up till almost halfway through the movie.
I wouldn't say halfway.
I wouldn't say halfway
The
either.
movie's a little over 2 hours long, and that scene,
No,
I paused
it's
55
2 hours,
minutes
45
in.
minutes.
2 hours and what?
45
2 hours,
minutes.
45 minutes.
45 minutes? Are you shitting me?
Nope,
No.
not shitting you.
Hang on, gotta look this up. 2001.
Alright, while you do that, I'll explain mine. Because I actually love this movie.
Because you're an idiot.
Okay, but I'm a huge...
That's the premiere version. Theatrical's 142 minutes. Alright, go ahead.
Damn.
140, that's 2 hours, 20, whatever. Then I watched a longer version of a long movie.
How would you love it? What would you rate it? 1 through 10.
I rate this movie an 8.5.
What the hell's wrong?
Alright.
It's in the top 20 for me. Maybe top 15.
What?
Okay, this is sci-fi. To me, my favorite genres, except some people don't consider it a genre, war and sci-fi. And this is like the first big budget sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
And like it was it was all colorful. I felt like a little kid high.
Also, do not even lie, Chris. The main theme, the Dawn of Men theme of 2001: A Space Odyssey, is so epic.
The music, any space music you hear is from that. And I love,
you know what? That probably inspired
in this movie. I love how this movie talks about evolution. I feel like it went on way too long, but I still love what they did and how it showed the apes in the beginning, even though it was like 45 minutes.
20 minutes.
I didn't like how it was 45 minutes because it definitely could have been shorter. But like all the things with the apes, I was like, I get that. And then like Hal showed up and all those other people. I also think this is the movie with the least amount of words in it because there's a lot of silent pauses.
Maybe Wall-E, but yeah, that's a good contender for least amount of words spoken in a movie.
My main thought of the movie is... But then I
love the ending, because I love endings that make you think, and I still don't understand it, and I love, like, trying to piece puzzles together.
Well, okay. That's different.
The ending I actually did like, too.
Ending... No, okay.
The ending is 50% of the movie to me. If the ending's good...
Well, yeah, that's my policy. If your ending sucks, then no matter what, people are always going to remember that the ending sucked. No matter how good a movie was, if your ending sucks, people are always going to remember that. You always need to start strong and end strong. However, okay, so, like, Inception has an ending that people still talk about to this day. It's not...
Well, that's only been 5 years. People still talk about 2001: A Space Odyssey. Yeah. It's been out for almost 50.
Okay, yes, but what I'm saying is Inception is still an ending that people talk about to this day. Not many people talk about the ending of Lord of the Rings because it's a very clear and concise ending. Inception has an ending that kind of makes you think a bit. In 2001: A Space Odyssey, the ending is complete ball sacks. I have no clue what the hell happened there whatsoever. I had to look up what happened in that scene. And the fact that we had just gone through like a 10-minute acid trip of going through the portal, which I don't know why that had to last for so long, but that's Stanley Kubrick for you. Everything lasts way too long. I wish I could jizz that long, but
except him, I bet he doesn't last that long.
Yeah, Minuteman.
He's crazy.
But
sorry,
he's dead. But there's like everything in that movie lasted way too long. Like, okay, yes, there were plenty of good visuals, like amazing visuals for its time. But if you let a beautiful picture sit there for 5 minutes, I'm gonna get bored of it. I don't care how nice it is. It's like going to a strip club, okay? You go to a strip club, you got nice naked ladies all around you. You can't do anything about it. You can't touch them. You can't jack off. You can't do anything while you're there. You're paying money for this, so what's the point of it? It's like dick torture. You got a bone, you can't do anything with it. You're watching a movie, there's beautiful visuals. Oh, should I care about it? Oh, there's no story. All right, I'm kind of bored of this picture. Move on to the next one.
Well, this is going to start.
The story is bigger than most stories.
Well, we could talk about this for hours and stuff like that, and we should move on. But all I'm going to say about 2001: A Space Odyssey is, as a movie, like when you're sitting down and you're watching it, it's not super exciting. There are many problems with it today.
If you have patience, you'll love it.
If you have patience, you'll love it.
No.
It's not an entertaining movie, but it's an influential movie, and it spawned a lot of It spawned a lot of movies that
the first of its kind
are great.
Genghis Khan spawned a lot of people.
So yeah, there are many problems with it, but I still appreciate it and I still respect it. So moving on, Chris, what are you gonna pick?
Shit, I didn't think of a movie. All right, Braveheart.
All right, I was actually gonna pick that.
All right, well, suck a dick. Okay, me
all
first.
These movies that we all picked are in my top 15, but not top 10.
Okay.
That's weird. All right, you okay?
All right. I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8, okay?
All right.
It has one of my favorite endings to any movie. It's the perfect example of a bittersweet ending. I love bittersweet endings. I don't like movies that end super duper happy dappy where nothing bad happened in the end. Everything's perfect. I don't like that because that's not realistic. Now, I'm not saying all movies need to be realistic, but in the end, I kind of like for there to be something that you wish could have been, but at least this is good enough kind of thing, kind of feeling, bittersweet, whatever. I also don't like endings that are completely sad and depressing because then the entire journey of the movie was worthless. You're hoping the characters can succeed, and if in the end nothing happy happens, then it's like, all right, now I'm just depressed, whatever. This movie, perfect bittersweet ending. Spoiler alert, but the main character dies in the movie. Okay, you know that freedom scene? Yeah, he gets his balls chopped off, and then he gets his head chopped off. Got both of his heads chopped off. But anyway, he's dead. All right, And that's like, it's so sad because he gets betrayed by his like one of his closest friends, and then he's tortured and he's supposed to beg for mercy, but he doesn't, which is cool and all. But then he's dead, and it's like, oh man, he was the hero. But his friends are still alive, but it's like, we don't have an army. But the guy who betrayed him has power, and he regrets it. And a year later, they're going to go surrender to the English. And it's like, man, we all lost. Everything's so sad. And they play the theme song, the... It's so beautiful music. And then the guy looks, and he's like, here's a handkerchief that once belonged to the guy I betrayed. And then he turns, and he's like, you know what? These guys can suck our giant dicks. We're going to kill them. And they charge at them, even though they'll probably lose the fight. They charge at them anyway. Music is straying, and everyone's just happy and charging as far as they can. And in the end, they actually win. And that's what's cool, is in the end, main character dies, but the good guys still win. Bittersweet ending. Love it. And it's just a cool movie with a lot of cool scenes. And it's a great way to stay in shape.
I'm going to make this very quick. I'm going to give it...
What?
I'm gonna make it quick. I think this movie, I'd give it probably a 7.5 out of 10. Really good movie. Definitely Mel Gibson's, in my opinion at least, Mel Gibson's best role.
I feel like that's the only movie I've seen him in.
I really
Lethal
did
Weapon,
like one of my favorite quotes from any movie actually is William Wallace's. I think it was his uncle that said this. He says, "Let me teach you how to use this," and he's pointing his head, and then he points to his sword and he goes, "Then I'll teach you how to use this." I think that's one of my favorite, quotes from any movie. But yeah,
I meant penis when you said head. Got it.
Dude, no, he got his penis chopped off. You remember?
No, but in all honesty,
about it, yeah.
But in all honesty, the movie was really good, and I'd give it a 7.5, and I'm just going to finish it really quick because I want Camden to give his opinion. So, Camden, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, I thought you had something.
Yeah, that's why you're like, I'm going to finish. Go ahead, Camden.
You're like, I'm going to make this really quick so Camden can go ahead. Go ahead, Camden.
I mean, it was quick.
Okay. Well, Camden, go ahead.
Stanley Kubrick doing it.
All right. I'm kind of mad because every movie we picked is the same rate, but this is an 8.5. For me.
Oh wow! So it like escalated. It was 7.5, 8, 8.5. Oh damn. Why isn't it 8.5?
I'll get to that when we're done singing.
Do it. Make it quick though. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Love you.
Go ahead, Chris. I'm done.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding.
So I rated.
Just kidding. No, I was just kidding.
You pulled your pants down in kindergarten.
Alright, so this is an 8.5. This like barely missed the top 10. And I'll tell you why. Because... Wait, no, I need to talk about why it's good. Never mind.
8.5. Really love this movie. This is why I didn't make my top 10.
But, okay, so this movie, it's long, but it's one of those long movies that you're like, wait, that's it? Like,
Yep.
when you watched it, you were like, whoa, it didn't feel that long
It's a
when
journey.
I watched it. Just because it's amazing. And like everything, it's not really slow at all, except the slow motion. The slow motion lasts.
Oh
for a while,
yeah, that scene
yeah.
when he's going, that pissed me off. That was one of the few things that made me make it an 8 and not an 8.5, because that went on for so long. I was like, just kill.
But like, this is after, like, this movie made me like Mel Gibson again, because like I haven't seen him in much. But then when I heard about all the racist stuff and everything he said, like in the early 2000s, I was like, man, I hate this guy. And then when I watched Braveheart, I was like, you know what? I like you, Mel Gibson.
You may hate
You're a
Jews,
Scottish-
but you made a good movie.
Yeah.
And that's what counts.
Now you make me sound like an asshole.
I mean, so
I'm
why'd
an
you rate an
asshole.
8.5?
Because it's good.
Oh, okay. All right.
Your turn.
I already rated it, asshole.
Okay.
Alright, then 8.5. Your turn, Spencer.
Okay. Well,
Let's make it
I
quick.
would love, as much as I would love to talk about movies, we are 45 minutes in.
44
and,
minutes in.
It's about time for us to shut up, Chris. It's about time for us to wrap. So, yeah, we'll see you guys next time on Late Night with Deep Sheep. It's been a lot of fun talking about Camden pulling out his freaking tiny kindergarten cock
You
and
don't know what
also
I got.
talking about movies. So yeah, I had a great time here, Camden. Anything you would like to add?
It was big, I swear.
Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, thank you guys for watching. We love you.
Alex works at